Guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. If you guys are new here, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and drop a comment on this video. So it's the middle of the day, guys, and we're all home, so we decided that we're gonna go and spend the day at the park today. The sun is hot, which is why I'm wearing my test cricket looking hat, just to keep off some of the sun, because the summer is so beautiful. It's our favorite time of the year. But while we're at the park, I wanted to do this video for a little while now, but I just couldn't find the time to actually sit down and give you guys this video. And it's actually gonna be migrating to Canada on a budget. So if you guys are new here, quick background: my name is Dems. I'm a Jamaican who migrated to Canada back in 2019 as an international student. And when I landed, I had limited resources to navigate my journey. So because of that, we had to hit the ground running immediately. So I'm going to share a little bit about my own story, and then I'm going to give you guys some tips. If it is that you guys are migrating to Canada and you don't have a lot of money to transition the way you want to, I'm going to give you guys some tips that can probably help you navigate the Canadian space using the little or minimum resources that you have to make sure that the Canadian journey is worthwhile. All right, so the first things first, guys. How did I get the money to come to Canada as an international student? So back in Jamaica, I was working a normal middle class job, my wife as well. While we were paying rent, had car payments, similar bills like what most persons have. And at the time, the proof of funds that was needed was roughly a little bit underneath 10,000 Canadian dollars. That was needed to show that you can, support yourself and transition. So what we ended up doing, 10,000 Canadian dollars was roughly at the time 1 million Jamaican dollars, give or take, right, based on the exchange rate. As a matter of fact, it was hovering a little bit underneath 1 million Jamaican dollars. So at the time, we just got married back in 2019. We got married January 2019, and then little after getting married, we decided that we're gonna try to make the move. The decision to come to Canada, all of those were explained in different videos, and I encourage you guys to go and check out some of those videos. But nonetheless, we made the decision that we wanted to come to Canada, just spend out all of what we had in our wedding, which in hindsight, if we could go back in time knowing what we know now, we would just have 2 witnesses and a pastor. So if you guys are thinking of getting married, let me just tell you guys this: do not spend a lot of money on your wedding. It's not worth it. Anyways, that being said, we decided to come up with a plan to generate the funds to come to Canada. Now, at the time, you needed 10,000 living expenses plus your first year tuition, right? So at the time, my tuition for the year was roughly $6,000, $7,000 for the year. Not bad. This was back in 2019. Things has drastically increased, leaving from $6,000 to now almost $20,000 per year. So luckily, when I made the decision, things was not as expensive as it was then. No, sorry. So I needed in total roughly, call it ballpark, 20,000 Canadian dollars to be safe. So I had a Nissan T, that 2012 car, that my plan was to sell that car and then get roughly $10,000 to show for living expenses and stuff like that. Now, we had some extra furniture, so we sold those furniture that we didn't need. So what we were doing now was living on the bare minimum. We were living on with just a bed, a dresser, a fridge, a stove, a TV. That's it. We sold everything else. As a matter of fact, if you look on Facebook Marketplace, you probably still see some of our furnitures and stuff there for sale. So that's how we came up with some of the money. Now that came up to roughly $500,000 ballpark, so we're still short roughly $1.5 million. So what we did now, we did different ventures, like we did cake sale, we did fish fry, we did different things without telling persons what we were really doing it for. But we were like just generally generating funds. If you guys remember my face from Jamaica, I probably tried to sell you a fish fry ticket. I probably tried to sell you a cake sale ticket, right? But we were so determined that we were gonna make this move, we were gonna make this transition and stuff like that. So what we did then, we ended up having enough money to pay for the school fee. So when we got that first $6,000, we applied to school, we got into school, and we ended up paying our school fee in full for the year. So I paid the school fee in full for the year, and then we're now just trying to hustle back that living expenses money, right? I had some money in my account that was, for a specific reason. So I was able to apply for for the study visa, showing the funds, but that funds wasn't necessarily my funds at the time. My plan was to sell my car to get that money. Now, ended up hustling some money that becomes my money and stuff like that, because we needed plane fare, all of those things which we end up buying and stuff like that. And at the time, my wife mother came with us, so it was me, my wife, my daughter, and my mother-in-law. And I had to buy a round trip ticket for my mother-in-law because she was on a visitor's visa. So roughly plane fare and everything came to roughly a little bit less than 300,000. School fee already paid for the year, plane ticket buy, and then, as I said, remember now, the plan was to sell the car, even though I had some money that I could probably navigate differently. Guess what? A little bit before the transition, my car got stolen. So that plan was demolished. And all of that. And then everything just came crashing down. And then after everything trickled down, we only end up making a move with literally $100. But that $100 was after everything was sorted out. Right, so now when I check it out now, we're in a new country. We have $100, even though we have somewhere to stay. School fees already paid. We don't have anything extra, and that extra money is what makes your transition easy or hard. In our case, he made it hard because my wife had to go and get a job immediately. We didn't have time to really settle and get to know our environment. We had to just hit the ground running immediately. So if you guys are in any similar position as what we were in, or if you guys have the dead exact money that you need to show, or if you end up run out of money or pinch the money, whatever the case may be, these tips will be specifically for you. If you're in one of those situations, the first thing I'd like to say is it doesn't matter if it is that you are uncomfortable. Use the money the best way you can until you can get comfortable. For example, if you have a small family, if it's just you, a parent, like a mom, a dad, and a one child, looking to get in a 1-bedroom apartment rather than a 2-bedroom apartment. That saves money drastically. Of course, it depends on where you are at. The price varies, depends on the city, the province, the location, we know all of that. But anywhere you go, a 1-bedroom would be cheaper than a 2-bedroom, right? So make sure that it doesn't matter the size of your family. As long as it's small, get a 1-bedroom and all of you guys crash in that 1-bedroom. Now, if you have a bigger family, then you have to probably get a 2-bedroom instead of a 3-bedroom, or a 3-bedroom instead of a 4-bedroom. The same logic apply, right? So you make things as tight as possible. So with that being said, you want to make sure that also, what's up? You want to come and say hi? Come and say hi. You want to see what? Malia, do not go through there. Come this way. You see the puppy? You see the puppy? Good job. Come and say hi, Malia. Come and say hi to the camera. You just playing your day away. Say hi.
Hi.
Look in the camera and say hi.
Hi.
Say subscribe.
Subscribe.
Good job. Go and play with mommy and sister.
Okay.
Daddy Sue be there, okay? Daddy Sue come. Yes, guys. The other thing I would like to say is, if it is that you're living on a budget, get the mere minimum furniture that you need. Do not get more furniture than you need. Just get what you need to survive. Most apartments here in Canada come with a fridge and a stove, so you are able to store food and cook your food. So the only thing you need is somewhere to sleep and probably somewhere to put your clothes, and just if you want a TV, or I don't know, everybody different. So based on what your list of priorities are, just get the bare minimum that you need, and based on what you need, find the cheapest way to get those things that you need. Like when we just started out, we got a starter kit, which means that we got a TV, cheap, TV stand, cheap, stuff like that. You want to make sure that you check out all the resources first. Like, get them used if you have to. Go to Facebook Marketplace, go to Kijiji, different places, and get them used on a deal. Or even go to some of these stores and okay, baby. Go to some of these stores, and some of these stores, they repossess furniture that's a little bit damaged but not terribly damaged, that you can get on a significant deal. So look into options like those as well. And as you integrate and start having more money, you can get the things that you really need. But for now, starting out, start as basic as possible, so that way you can really, keep the money that you have or save some money. The other thing that I'd like to say is do not fall into the trap of going out and spending a lot of money, right? So a lot of times when persons make the transition and they're on a budget, they end up starting meeting people, of course, and then people have been here for a while and they'll be like, hey, we're going for drinks, or hey, we're going to the movies, or hey, we're going there, we're going here, there, and everywhere. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Know where your limitations are financially. Do not feel pressured to spend money that you don't have, right? That you can spend on other things. So stay in your lane. That's definitely one of the biggest tips I can give people. Do not be peer pressured into spending more than you can spend, right? Stay in your lane. Don't fall into the trap of fast food like every day and stuff like that, because it's very convenient and it's very easy to spend a lot of money in fast food and going out and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you are, just living in your means and staying in your lane. The other tip I would like to say is let people understand that you are transitioning. As immigrants, when we come, persons back home, careful. You see the water? Okay, we're gonna go to the splash park, okay? A lot of times as immigrants, when we make the transition to a new country, our families back home think that we're literally picking money off trees, but that's not the case, right? Especially when we're transitioning. So be clear and precise to your family members back home that here, leave me alone. Leave me alone for a little while because I'm transitioning and I don't have any money to send back home right now. Do not try to make it seem like you're living a lavish lifestyle when you are really transitioning. Know exactly where the limitations are and stay in the lane. Molly is trying to photobomb our video. Yeah? Right? So let your family members back home know that you're transitioning and you don't have any money to send back home right now. So they will understand, hopefully, right? All right, guys. So the other tip I'd like to say is in regards to getting a car. Now, Canada is a cold country that has winter, in case you didn't know. So with that being said, there are some places in Canada that you're gonna need a car in the winter time. Now, if you have limited resources, my encouragement to you would be to not buy a car brand new. Do not fall into the trap of being confined to a car payment when you just land, because you're gonna need those money for other things. But instead, what I would say is save some money. 4 grand, 5 grand can get you a car. Sorry, 4,000, 5,000 can get you a car off Kijiji, can get you a car off Facebook Marketplace, different places like those. So look into getting a used car from a third party oftentimes, because the dealers are gonna have what we call the dealer tax, right? So find one of those sites, Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, whatever buy and sell trade that's in your community, and try and make network as well, because oftentimes a lot of persons have a second car that they're trying to sell. So like at work you say, hey, I'm trying to find a car, do you know anybody who's selling a car, stuff like that, and then you rely on other person's network to get you that opportunity to get a car second-hand. That will definitely cause your buck to go a lot further, right? Now these are some tips that I believe that will help you transition very well into the Canadian space without costing you a arm and a leg, especially if you have limited financial resources. And the last tip I'd like to share is in terms of finding a job. Never be too picky with the type of job that you get for your first job, especially if it is that you don't have much money. Your goal is to just start getting that Canadian income as soon as possible. So you can't be too picky with the type of job you get. You get that kind of job that just put food on the table while you look for the job that you want, because you're not gonna get complacent and comfortable within a job that you don't like, right? So you look for a job that can put food on the table while you look for the job that you really want. That would be my advice. If you guys find these tips helpful any at all, please let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing to this channel if you haven't subscribed already. And please guys, hit that like button. Really appreciate it, guys. Until next time, see you guys in the next video. But before we go, I'm gonna go and do some daddy duties and help nuts with the kids at the park. See you guys in the next video. Yeah, the playground. You like the playground? What always walk on those? I told you not to walk on them. Mommy and sister is right there. Let's wait on them.
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love.
This is all we
got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground.